Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that moment where things are getting hot with a guy and you suddenly realize your hands are just awkwardly there? Like you're thinking, okay, should I do something right now? Am I supposed to be doing more? What if I mess this up? Don't worry, because you are not the only one who's felt that way. Here's the truth. So many women overthink when it comes to pleasing a man with their hands. They imagine it has to be some complicated, acrobatic movie scene performance to impress him. But let me let you in on a little secret. Most men don't want complicated. What they want is for you to be confident, playful, and present in the moment. See, a hand job isn't just about a physical act. It's about the energy you bring into it. Men can tell instantly if you're nervous, disconnected, or just trying to get it over with. But when you lean in with confidence, when you show him you enjoy being the one turning him on, it becomes so much more powerful. It's not just stimulation, it's seduction. And here's the kicker. This is an area where so many women underestimate just how impactful they can be. Because let me tell you, if you do it the right way, you can make a man feel desired, cared for, and completely obsessed with you, all without saying a single word. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 powerful keys to giving a man a hand job that will not just make him enjoy the moment, but make him remember you every time he thinks about pleasure. Trust me, these are game-changing secrets most men wish women knew, but will never say out loud. When it comes to giving a man a hand job, the very first thing you need to know is this: confidence beats technique every single time. I can't stress this enough. You could have the fanciest moves in the world, but if you're doing them with hesitation, if your body language is awkward, or if you look like you're second guessing yourself, he's not going to feel the full impact. Why? Because men are incredibly tuned in to the energy you're giving off. They don't just feel your hands, they feel your vibe. Think about it this way. Imagine going to a restaurant where the chef makes an amazing dish, but he serves it like he's not sure if it's good. He apologizes, he looks nervous, and he kind of rushes through the whole experience. Even if the food tastes great, you'll still feel a little unsure because of how he presented it. Now compare that to a chef who might make something simple, but he presents it with a smile, with confidence, like he knows you're going to love it. That confidence actually makes the experience feel 10 times better. It's the same in intimacy. When you approach your man with confidence, when you make eye contact, when you tease him a little, when you show with your body language that you're enjoying what you're doing, it instantly amplifies his pleasure. He's not just thinking, this feels good. He's thinking, wow, she wants me, she's into this, and that makes me feel irresistible. That emotional layer is what makes him addicted to the experience. Confidence also removes the pressure from perfection. You don't have to know the best way or worry about messing it up. In fact, if you're too caught up in trying to be perfect, you actually lose connection with him in the moment. Confidence is about being playful, about experimenting, and about owning whatever you're doing. Even if it's simple, your conviction makes it powerful. Here's the secret: men don't remember the exact moves you used. They remember how you made them feel. Did you make him feel desired? Did you make him feel like you were turned on by him? Did you make him feel like you were present and playful? That's what sticks. That's why a confident woman, even doing something basic, can outshine someone with a dozen fancy techniques, but no presence. And let me add, this confidence doesn't mean being loud or aggressive or acting like you know everything. Confidence can be quiet, it can be subtle. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and showing up without fear. It's when you look him in the eyes with a little smirk, like you know the effect you're having on him. It's when you let yourself have fun with it instead of overthinking. That is what confidence looks like in intimacy. So if you take anything away from this first key, let it be this: stop worrying about whether you're doing it right. Start focusing on the energy you bring. Because the truth is, the sexiest thing you can do with your hands isn't a move, it's owning the moment. And when you own it, he'll feel it, he'll crave it, and he'll remember you as the woman who made him feel more alive than anyone else ever has. Here's the thing most women get wrong: they think speed equals pleasure. They imagine that if they just go faster, harder, and keep at it, the guy's going to lose his mind. But here's the truth: speed is not the magic ingredient. In fact, speed without control is usually the quickest way to make the moment less special. What actually makes a man crave your touch is your ability to control the tempo. And in this case, slow almost always beats fast. Think of it like music. Imagine going to a concert where the band only played everything on fast forward. There would be no rhythm, no build up, no anticipation. It would just be noise. What makes music beautiful is the way it plays with tempo, the pauses, the drops, the build up that keeps you waiting and wanting more. Intimacy works the exact same way. If you go straight to fast, you rob him of the excitement that comes from the build up. Slowness creates intensity. When you slow down, you give him the chance to actually feel everything. You're not rushing him to the finish line. You're making the journey addictive. That's what men really remember. Most guys have had that too fast, too soon experience. And yes, while it might get the job done, it doesn't leave a lasting impression. But when you're deliberate, teasing, and patient, that you're not just giving him pleasure, you're taking control of his arousal. That's what makes it unforgettable. Slowness also sends a deeper message. It shows that you're confident enough not to rush. A woman who slows down is a woman who's saying, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know you can't wait for what comes next. That's powerful. That confidence drives him crazy because he realizes you're not just reacting to him, you're leading the moment. And men secretly love when a woman takes that kind of control. Another key part of slowing down is the tease factor. When you go slow, you give him just enough to crave more, but not enough to satisfy. That's what keeps his mind hooked. He's not just feeling your hands, he's waiting, wondering, and hoping for what's next. That anticipation is what makes him feel like he's addicted to your touch. And here's the beautiful part: when you do finally increase the pace, it actually feels 10 times more intense because you built up to it. You can even think of slowness as a kind of conversation. Every little pause, every small change in rhythm is like you saying, I know what's happening here, and I'm in control of the story. It makes the whole experience more engaging, more playful, and more connected. Fast by itself feels mechanical, slow feels sensual, and when you combine slowness with confidence, you create an intimacy that stays in his mind long after the moment is over. So here's the bottom line: don't rush. Don't treat it like a race you're trying to finish as quickly as possible. Treat it like a slow dance. Give him space to feel everything. Play with the rhythm. Play with the pauses. Build that anticipation. Because when you master the art of slow, you'll discover something incredible. You don't just give him pleasure, you control his desire, and that is what makes you unforgettable. If there's one thing that kills excitement faster than anything else, it's predictability. Doing the same thing over and over again may feel safe, but it won't keep a man coming back for more. Variety is everything. And when I say variety, I don't mean you need a huge repertoire of complicated tricks. What I mean is mixing things up just enough to keep him curious, engaged, and hooked on what you'll do next. Men are wired to respond to novelty. Think about it. When something changes, when there's a new sensation, a new rhythm, or a new tease, his brain lights up. That unpredictability creates a rush. On the other hand, if you do the exact same move with the exact same pressure for 5 straight minutes, his brain switches off. It's no longer exciting, it's just mechanical. And intimacy should never feel mechanical. So what does variety actually look like? It could be something as simple as changing your rhythm, slow for a while, then a little faster, then pausing altogether just to build anticipation. It could be adjusting your grip, going from firmer to softer, mixing in lighter touches that make him shiver. You can even use your fingertips, your nails, or both hands for different sensations. It's not about being fancy. It's about being playful and unpredictable. Here's the magic of variety. It keeps him mentally engaged. When he doesn't know what you're going to do next, he's locked in the moment. He's not drifting off. He's not bored. He's fully present, wondering, what's she going to do now? That sense of curiosity and suspense is intoxicating for a man. It makes him feel like he's on a ride he never wants to end. Another layer to variety is how you blend the physical with the emotional. You might mix in eye contact, a cheeky smile, or a playful comment while you change what you're doing with your hands. That combination of different sensations, physical touch mixed with visual and emotional cues, takes the experience to another level. It's not just about his body anymore, it's about his whole mind being involved. And remember, variety doesn't mean chaos. You don't want to be switching things up so randomly that it feels disjointed. It's more like telling a story. You build a flow, but you add little surprises along the way. Think of it like a movie. If the entire film was just one car chase, you'd get bored. But when you mix in drama, suspense, comedy, and then another chase, you're hooked until the very end. That's what variety does in intimacy. It makes him want to stay tuned in because he knows something new is always around the corner. The other great thing about variety is that it helps you discover what he really loves. By trying different speeds, pressures, and techniques, you'll notice how he responds. You'll see what makes his breathing change, what makes him tighten up, what makes him moan a little louder. That's your feedback. And once you know what works best, that you can circle back to it at just the right moment to blow his mind. So here's the bottom line. Don't be predictable. Don't fall into the trap of doing one thing on autopilot. Keep it playful, keep it varied, keep it interesting. Because when you master the art of variety, you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him an experience he can't stop thinking about. And that is how you become unforgettable. Here's something a lot of people miss: intimacy is never just about the physical act. Sure, your hands are the main players here, but if you limit yourself only to that, you're leaving out an entire world of connection and excitement. Men are incredibly responsive to stimulation that goes beyond touch. When you bring your whole presence into the moment, your voice, your eyes, your body language, you multiply the impact of everything you're doing. Think about it. A guy isn't just turned on by what's happening physically, he's turned on by you. He's turned on by how you look at him, how you breathe, how you smile in that teasing way that makes him wonder what's going on in your mind. He's turned on by the way you lean in close, whisper something in his ear, or let out a sound that tells him you're just as caught up in the moment as he is. That combination of sensory cues is what makes the experience unforgettable. Let's break it down. Eye contact, for example, is insanely powerful. Looking into his eyes while you're touching him creates an intimate bond that makes him feel like the only man in the world. It's not just sexy, it's deeply connecting. Add a playful smirk or bite your lip while you hold his gaze, and you'll see his entire body react. It's like you're speaking a language without saying a word. Your voice is another tool that most women underestimate. Men love when you talk to them in those moments. It doesn't have to be dirty talk if that's not your style. It could be as simple as whispering, "You like that?" Or teasing him with, "You're not ready for what's coming next." Even your breathing is part of the experience. When he hears your breath get heavier, it tells him you're excited. And that fuels his arousal even more. And let's not forget the rest of your body. Your hands may be the focus, but bringing your lips, your hair, or your touch elsewhere adds layers of stimulation. Maybe you lean down and kiss his neck, let your hair brush against his skin, or press your body against his while you're touching him. That physical closeness makes him feel wrapped up in you, not just in the physical act. It's like saying, "This isn't just about what my hands are doing, this is about us." Here's why this matters. Men don't want intimacy that feels like a mechanical task. They want an experience. They want to feel desired, seen, and connected. When you involve more than just your hands, you take what could be a simple physical act and turn it into something deeply erotic and emotionally bonding. It's the difference between watching a movie on mute versus with full surround sound. The experience just isn't complete without all the layers. The best part, when you bring your whole self into it, you also relax. You stop overthinking technique because you realize you're giving him something bigger than a move. You're giving him your energy, your attention, your presence. And that's what makes him feel addicted to you. So don't underestimate the little things. The way you look at him, the way you breathe, the way you whisper, the way your body touches his, all of it matters. Your hands may start the fire, but everything else you bring is what makes the flame unforgettable. And trust me, when you combine it all, he won't just remember the physical sensation, he'll remember you. Here's something most women underestimate: communication. When it comes to intimacy is not just important, it's sexy. We've been conditioned to think that intimacy should be mysterious, that you should somehow know exactly what to do without asking, and that talking about it might ruin the mood. But the truth, the opposite is true. Communication doesn't kill the mood, it builds it. When you can confidently ask, tease, or explore with your partner, you create an experience that's not only hotter, but far more satisfying for both of you. Men, believe it or not, love when a woman asks what he likes. It's not a turn off, it's a turn on. It shows confidence, it shows curiosity, and it shows that you actually care about his experience. You can say something playful like, "Do you like it better when I do this or this?" Suddenly, what could have been an awkward question becomes an erotic game. You're not just asking, you're teasing, you're engaging him, you're making him a part of the experience. That's what makes communication sexy. Now let's flip it. What happens if you don't communicate? You end up guessing. And maybe you get it right, but maybe you don't. And here's the thing, he might not speak up because most men are afraid of hurting your feelings. So he'll just go along with it, even if it's not what he really wants. That means you're both missing out. But if you open that door with confidence, if you make it safe for him to express what he enjoys, you unlock a whole new level of intimacy. And let me say this, communication isn't just about asking what he wants. It's also about sharing what you enjoy, telling him what turns you on, what feels good for you, makes him feel more connected and more excited. Remember, men want to feel like they're pleasing you. When you guide him, when you let him know that something feels amazing, it boosts his confidence and makes the whole experience better for both of you. Here's the powerful part. When you communicate, you build trust. You show him that he doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect either. You're in this together, figuring out what works. That trust makes intimacy more relaxed, more playful, and way more enjoyable. It removes the pressure and replaces it with curiosity. Instead of trying to get it right, you're both exploring together, and exploration is what keeps things exciting. And here's the kicker. Communication doesn't have to be heavy or serious. It can be flirty, it can be fun, it can be part of the tease. Whispering, "Tell me what you want," in a sultry tone is 1,000 times sexier than silently wondering if you're doing it right. Play with your words, make it part of the moment, and you'll see just how powerful it is. So remember this, the women who leave men obsessed aren't the ones who silently guess what he wants. They're the ones who ask, explore, guide, and respond. They turn communication into connection and connection into chemistry. And that's what makes the difference between just another moment and a memory he'll replay in his head again and again. So ladies, let's bring this all together. Giving a man a hand job isn't about having some secret trick that no one else knows. It's not about memorizing a list of techniques or trying to act like someone you saw in a movie. What makes it powerful, what makes it unforgettable is you. It's your confidence that makes him feel desired. It's the way you play with tempo, slowing things down so he's begging for more. It's the variety that keeps him guessing, keeps him engaged, keeps him on edge. It's when you use more than just your hands, when you bring your eyes, your voice, your body, your whole energy into the moment. And above all, it's when you communicate, when you open the door to connection, honesty, and playfulness. Do those 5 things, and trust me, he won't just remember the feeling, he'll remember the experience, he'll remember you. And that's the difference between being a moment of pleasure and being a woman he can't stop thinking about. Now, I want to hear from you because this is where the magic happens. Drop me a comment below and tell me which one of these 5 keys do you think is the most powerful. Do you believe confidence is more important than technique? Or do you think communication is the real secret weapon? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this video gave you some new insights, hit that like button, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more real talk on love, intimacy, and relationships. Because at the end of the day, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up with confidence, connection, and the courage to own your power as a woman